Hello Algebra, I'm glad that you're challenging yourself to do this should-do lesson and learn a little bit more about solving systems by elimination. Here we go. We are skipping ahead to 16.2, writing a new system to solve a given system. And they're giving you steps that Elena did to solve this system of equations right here. So this was her first step. She ended up with these two equations, and then she had this written down. So your job is to figure out what were her first two moves, and number two, complete the process algebraically. So showing that the solution really is x equals -1 and y equals 5. In Elena's first step right here, it looks like she multiplied the second equation by 4. And it looks like she did that so that she could subtract the two equations and eliminate the x variable. Now to finish solving this, we could divide both sides by -7, and there we get y to be 5. Going back to the beginning, I would plug that into the first equation. You could do either, but I'll do the first one and plug in 5 for y, and there I get x to be -1. So as an ordered pair, it'd be -1 comma 5, which it told us right here was the solution, so we verified that. Now the new thing that you need to pay attention to was this first step that Elena did was multiplying by 4 in order to be able to subtract. So when you're using elimination, it is okay to multiply both sides of an equation by something like this in order to be able to eliminate a variable. Another way Elena could have done it, as you're looking up here, would be to multiply the first equation by 2, because when you do that, you would then end up eliminating your y values and you could solve for x. So there's multiple ways you can approach this. Remember, it's like a puzzle. You want to figure out one piece to lead you to the next piece. 16.3 is an activity using some slips of paper. These are available in class on the bulletin board. And as you complete this, there is an assignment in Canvas that has some more directions on how you can submit your work. And again, I would highly recommend doing this with a partner if at all possible. The next one with 16.4, we're just going to do the very first part of this section. We start out with this system of equations, and Diego did this in step 1 and this in step 2. Your job is to describe what he did in each step. In step 1, it looks like he multiplied the second equation by -5. And why he chose -5 would be because then it makes it easier to eliminate this variable just by adding the two equations together. And that's what he did over here to get this equation, was he added the two equations together. And for practice, let's finish solving this from here. So I'm taking this equation that Diego got after he added them together, and I'm going to use that to solve for a. So I'm going to divide both sides by -28. And I get a equals a positive 2 and 14/70, which I could simplify to 2 and 2/10 or 2 and 1/5. Looking back at the top, I'm going to substitute that in for the second equation right here, just because the numbers are smaller. So now I have this right here, substituting 2 and 1/5 in for a. And when I keep simplifying, I'm going to rewrite this as 11/5. And these are not going to be super nice numbers, but we will work through this. Right here, I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 5, because then that gets rid of my icky fractions that I'm dealing with. And as long as I do it to everything on both sides of the equation, I'll be just fine. And then I can keep simplifying. This is easier to work with. And I end up with b equals -6 and 3/5. And so I have a was 2 and 1/5, and b is -6 and 3/5. And that's where we're going to stop with that problem. We're not going to go on and do numbers 2 and 3. All right, good job again working through this and challenging yourself. When you're doing the activity with the pieces of paper, just make sure you follow the instructions on Canvas. Nice job, guys.